It's called a promo,
Shut
kid.
your
And
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it. So go ahead.
You ready? No! I said, are you ready?
That was good. Glad you finally decided to pull that giant stick out of your butt and have some fun for once in your life.
You're uneducated marks! You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit!
And I'd like to think that maybe this company will be better after Vince McMahon's death.
Max Caster.
On time every time.
Because he had a pretty good week this week. So Billy and I got you this very, very special gift in honor of National 69 Day. Roll the clip, please.
Roll it.
I can't believe this is happening. Look,
Hello.
Owens and Billy asked me to do this, and to be honest, my initial instinct was to say no, but for the first time in the 9 years since I met you, Max Caster, you actually have earned my respect. This past Wednesday when you took that bullet from me with Jay White, that was pretty cool, man. And you know, my friend Adam Cole a while back told me that it's okay to have more than one friend. And at first, I thought that was heresy, but you know, you're kind of starting to grow on me, Caster. Like a fungus, but you're starting to grow on me. Now, I'm not saying I love the Acclaimed like everybody else, but what I will say is I kind of am starting to like the Acclaimed.
Me too, Matt.
69 Day.
Me too.
Yay, scissoring.
I'm bringing that same energy. I'm bringing that same energy. How about that? Alright. I know, I gotta do it. Excuse me for a moment. Before we start the show, I was wrong. Last week, I was wrong. I won't apologize to Logan Paul, but I was wrong about him dropping Rey Mysterio on his head, or nearly dropping him on his head. I'll apologize to the people, of course. I do still dislike Logan Paul for personal reasons, but I need to admit when I'm wrong. So,
see, I'm not gonna say I told you so.
no, you can. I watched it back literally right after the show, and I was like, wow. A week from now, I'm gonna have to admit I was wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I think I mentioned it too. Like
a lot of people mentioned it the next day. Is what's funny. A lot of people were like,
it's funny because I don't think any of us are just trying to be like, oh, we love Logan Paul so much we had to correct it. I think we're just trying to give legitimate reasons why we hate him.
Yeah.
And that can't be one of them because honestly, he's pretty good in the ring.
I cannot
and he's
lie
not unsafe as far as we
say
know.
he botched that one. Literally, Rey Mysterio's life could have been ended had he not dropped to that knee. So, again, I might not want to apologize to him or I might dislike him for other reasons, but I can't be wrong. That's not allowed.
Fair.
That said, we're going fucking collision to collision today. No, jam-packed today.
Unfortunately, schedule's changed. Let's go.
Fucking, I'm with it. Last collision. Here's one thing we gotta acknowledge. Roddy doesn't think that we care about neck health, but I assure you as somebody who's got a neck that's been jacked up for over a year, I definitely do. ROH legend, Roderick Strong.
I was about to say, did you forget?
I haven't forgotten.
Listen. Neck strong, all strong. It's not Elton Strong. That didn't work. Sorry, WWE. But neck strong.
Neck strong. I actually said neck strong like 6 months before any of this happened, so it's ironic.
Did.
Yeah, there's a video my girlfriend has of me somewhere saying neck strong. It's really funny. I was listening to Headstrong by Trapped at the time.
Remember when they did that? They even did the parody like
I was there live in the arena.
You were. Oh my god, I love that so much. Speaking of, look at the timing.
That's what I was about to mention as well. We're watching a Ring of Honor DVD. I always put one in on silent just for some background visuals, cure my anxiety. One thing I wasn't expecting out of Collision, I wasn't expecting Darby to beat Lance Archer, who actually I was thinking Lance Archer would win, but like Jake the Snake said, Darby is the golden goose.
That's fair. What I didn't expect either was the Righteous.
Right? It feels weird watching Jake the Snake right after doing our Beyond the Mat series. It's like he's got a creative storyline being pushed in ROH AEW now.
Yeah, I didn't expect
It
that.
just feels weird now.
It's like, what?
Which, this Thursday, part 3 drops. The best part so far. Although, I don't know, doing part 4 today will be pretty interesting. But
Yeah.
part 3 is going to come out. And that one is covering Jake the Snake Roberts. Fucking insane.
You dig what I'm saying, man?
It was hilarious that he did that, and we'll get to that a little later because we got a whole other collision to go to. But it's so funny that he did that, and I felt like because of all the smoking he was doing in that taping of the DVD we watched, Beyond the Mat, I feel like because all that smoking he was doing, that's why he was like, I'm out of breath, I gotta stop this promo right now. Lance Archer, everybody dies, everybody dies.
I love how he's just, everybody dies.
Come back later, I have the clip in my phone, but that's a
Yeah.
whole other collision. It's going to be a lot of AEW for the next 2 weeks because we're coming up on Full Gear next week. So we're going to be back here after Full Gear on another Sunday taping trying to cover a pay-per-view, which I don't even have the pay-per-view bought yet, but don't tell my hero Tony Khan.
I don't either. We'll figure out how that goes.
And with all our lovely sponsors, we will, which we'll get to that later on too, but that's a whole other thing. We got it. And then after that, we're shifting to Survivor Series, which you'll be off the weekend after Thanksgiving, the weekend of Thanksgiving, because I'm going to be doing a little special there and then, which more details to come. But there's a lot of good wrestling that's about to come. So it'll be AEW for a couple weeks, predominantly, and then WWE will come in like a fucking wrecking ball.
Survivor
Miley Cyrus.
Series, and then Deadline.
Can't believe Randy Orton's coming back at Survivor Series. I mean, I can. I feel like it's real this time.
It feels real. It definitely does feel real. It feels like they're setting it up in that War Games match.
The rumor is they leaked that information to kill off the CM Punk rumors because it was getting overbearing. And hey, look, another episode talking about CM Punk.
How did you? I didn't even.
He just creeps in the conversation.
He's there. He's like a shadow looming over the wrestling world.
Shadow Punk.
Shadow Punk. That sounds like a cool video game, actually. Off topic.
I want to fact check Sami Zayn. He said Judgment Day holds all the gold on Raw except for the World Heavyweight title. They
don't, no.
But that's not true. Gunther holds the IC title. Also, the Judgment Day doesn't have the women's tag titles. So,
are they even titles?
Those are titles. Just because they're cursed doesn't mean they don't exist. Tozawa and Shinsuke might not have been over the top amazing, but I appreciate it.
Yes, and I just think giving Tozawa all this time right now, it seems like they're actually giving him something.
Yeah, which I have a note for him in NXT in a minute too, so I love Tozawa, man. I'm glad he's getting some more shine. I remember in the Cruiserweight Classic being a huge fan of his because he wasn't a goof-off character in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yes.
Dragon Gate Tozawa. I still have yet to watch any of that, but apparently he's a badass.
Yeah.
So, Monday, we get Sammy and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title just off the rip, just immediately.
Just because we can.
You asked me who the next challenger was, and
that was not at the top of your list, I don't think.
There was this. So you asked me, there was this. You get a good match out of it with an okay finish, but of course, then I wondered again, where do we go from here?
I don't know, honestly.
And War Games was announced.
War Games is obviously next. I think after that, it's...
Even asking myself, I'm like, well, then...
Up in the air.
Was announced. Which, little debate against people here, whether it matters or not. I guess it really doesn't matter, but War Games is supposed to be 5-on-5, no?
It varies, right? Like, War Games in NXT was 4-on-4. If I remember correctly.
See, yeah, some people were saying that, and I'm trying to remember. When there's that many people and that many rings, it gets a little mixed up in my brain.
Which, it seems like for this year, the men are doing 5 and the women are doing 4.
Yeah.
But, okay. Why not? Inconsistency.
That feels like it's a little bit too off. I can't control it. Although, if I could, y'all would be in for a whirlwind. My creative ideas, off the charts.
Oh, I have ideas.
I got my wish. Miz is the number 1 contender.
Sort of. Okay, so you saw the botch, right? Everyone saw the botch.
See, I I didn't think that it was a botch. I thought that
It
that's
didn't
how
seem
it
like
was
it.
supposed to play out.
It didn't seem like it, but then reports came out, and then it makes sense. I think maybe that's how they're gonna get the title off Gunther.
I was like, do you think he should be the one to dethrone him?
No, I think Ivar's gonna beat Miz, and then he's gonna get inserted into the match, triple threat, and then somehow one of Miz pins Ivar or Ivar pins Miz.
It's like I want it. I want Miz to be the one.
Yeah,
Be the greatest.
I think that's fair. Of anyone left on the roster that hasn't faced him yet, the Miz is the one.
The word is he came to play. So
He did come to play.
Creed Brothers and Ivy Nile officially signed to Raw.
It's staggering how often now and how many people they're bringing up quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think NXT will. Another thing I'll put out there during NXT, but I didn't expect them to give Ivy such a good showing in the Battle Royal either.
I did not either. They did. And then for Creed Brothers to go and have a banger of a match against DIY first night signed.
I think the Creed Brothers are going to be the next big tag team. I think they want it to be DIY, but I think the Creed Brothers are going to take that mantle.
I think the marks like me want it to be DIY, but the Creed Brothers are literally going out there every week on separate shows, which they'll probably, of course, stop being on NXT now, but who knows where they're going to go from. Well, they could be tag champs within the next few months, which again, are we going to separate them or are we going to unify them?
We should, especially with the Creeds up there now.
What's the deal? Starks versus Ripley, Survivor Series. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I was fully expecting a rematch.
Man.
I was expecting Ripley versus... Who all was in there? Nia, or not a rematch, but just Nia, because they're the one that they've been focusing on, right? Nia.
Yeah, but then they heard her promos. They were like, no mo's.
To be fair, a lot of people say Zoe isn't that much better. I think she's okay.
I was like, do you want to say that much better? Because she is that much better. Even if she's not that great, she's that much better.
She is. I don't see any problem with Zoe's promos. I wouldn't say they're memorable.
Yeah.
But for her character, they work.
Say she cuts a fucking 6 out of 10 promo, she's still doing better than a 2 out of 10.
That's also true. But Zoe got to really show out, and I'm excited. I hope she gets a really good showing against Ripley.
I was expecting Becky to enter back into the match and win it. I'm happy nonetheless. Because my girl Zoe Starks is going to a one-on-one women's world title match at Survivor Series. I wanted to say a world heavyweight title match. Is that fair to say? Can you? I
think it is. And then you mentioned Becky. Zaya took Becky out, and it doesn't make sense given that context. But then once we get to NXT, I think it'll make a little more sense.
Yeah. We're about to jump over to NXT. First, another thing I had on Raw, and this little segue into our weekly sponsor. I hated those fucking NFL Legacy titles. I hate them. They keep showing them, and they're not my style. I like to diversify my collection and keep my belts coming in at an affordable price, which is why I get my belts from Triple B Belts. Low in price, not in quality. Shop Triple B Belts on eBay, Mercari, and Etsy. Official sponsor for today's episodes.
Yeah.
Had to segue into it. Had to let them know that those fucking ugly ass NFL Legacy titles aren't it. Also, do they still not have the Jaguars one? Didn't they take the Jaguars one off?
I believe so. I don't remember if they put it back, but they did take it off at one point. Probably not.
Tony was like, no sir, not today. That Heritage Cup match went off.
It did.
Going back to Tozawa. The power of Tozawa.
I was hoping they were going to let Tozawa win.
Me too.
The one thing that gets me confused about the Heritage Cup, they have some amazing matches with it, but the way it goes from person to person is weird because, Frazier won it that one time and then went back to Dar.
Nathan Frazier.
What was the point?
Give me some water. I need to wet my whistle.
Yeah, while you're doing that.
Did you just copy me? Did you just try to... shadow me drinking the water. That was hilarious.
Look.
We need video on this podcast now. That was hilarious.
See, I was about to go into a thought, but then I was like, oh god, I'm getting dry. I need to drink water.
Literally just shadowed me.
No, my throat just got dry.
What was your thought on Tiffany Stratton qualifying for the Iron Survivor?
Okay, first of all,
I couldn't even say Iron Survivor. It just feels weird rolling off the tongue.
That match did not have the right to go off like it did.
Go on.
It
was a good match. I'm not laughing because you're wrong.
I'm not taking away anything from Fallon, but lately Fallon hasn't had that many great, moments in general. Besides, actually copying Tiffany during Halloween Havoc.
That wasn't as funny as people say it was.
What? I thought it was okay. Never mind. Anyways, but the part where Tiffany throws her out of the ropes, like just straight throws her, like you just need a table right there. You just need a table right there.
At a table spot.
Oh my god! Like Tiffany is so much better than I think even I expected her to be.
She's not ROH legend Roderick Strong though.
That's fair.
Had to get one off.
That being said, I expected it. I think everyone expected it.
Yeah, I expected it, but I had to mention it, just like I have to mention Dijak qualifies after a good match against Tyler Bate, who I actually was expecting to win, at least a little bit, hoping for.
Because Dijak had been in that picture already, I was like, Dijak's going to get this win, isn't he? And I didn't want it because You
knew?
I knew, but I want Tyler Bate to... I want Bate to get a push, man. Like,
me too, we all do.
Everyone agrees. He's way past even being on NXT. Like, he should be main roster.
We all agree that he's a big, strong boy, but for whatever reason, the powers that be, as they say...
There's something going on there, but at the same time, now I think would be the perfect time to give him a send-off match. Send him up. Do it. If you're sending up Dragon Lee, you're sending up the Creeds, send up Tyler Bate.
Fucking edging him out. Again, you want to talk about NXT history. I don't want to break away too much to talk about a DVD that we're watching, especially a Ring of Honor DVD, but here's the early seeds of the Undisputed Era with Adam Cole approaching Roddy Strong after his match, telling him, you're a Ring of Honor legend, because he is.
Let's go.
Nobody really feeling Lexus King after that closing segment when he got in the middle of Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. Dude, people roasted his ass.
Look, Lexus King, we get it. He's one of the things I think that has gotten a lot of people to go back to saying, oh no, NXT is just developmental. Like, we were on a path to being like, no, NXT is his third brand. And then Lexus King just set it all back.
Dude, Lexus King was Lexus... he's a Lexus Pawn. Sorry, it took me a second to grab that joke out of my brain. He's a Lexus Pawn.
Alright, hold on. I just want to mention one more thing since
you're
at
fine.
the end. Zaya came and challenged Lyra, which makes sense. That's why I made sense of the whole Becky thing on Raw, because she still wants that NXT title. She sees that Lyra has it now, and that kind of ticks her off because it should have been her chance. And so now she knocks out a random ass security guard and says, yeah, I'm next.
It's just so random to me. It's like, alright, knocked Becky's ass out. Now I'm back onto this NXT.
Well, think about it this way.
We never got Xia Li and Becky Lynch.
We never did, but think about it this way. If Xia hadn't knocked Becky out, she would have been in that match, and she would have had less of a chance to win that match, because there's, 10, 12 other women? This way, she preys on Lyra's love of Becky Lynch. She automatically gets a title match. Like, Becky's her idol. Of course Lyra's going to go to her defense and put her title on the line, because that's the kind of person she is.
Kind of champion she is.
So, it made sense in that way, I think.
Yeah. Not feeling it. They weren't feeling Lexus King. You know who's feeling us, though, and I've got to give a little thank you to iHeartRadio and CastBox for picking up our show this week.
Yes, thank you.
2 new places picking up our show. We're really out here growing. He said, thank you. I do that all the time now. Again, I don't remember at what point. You can hear it when you go back into the archives of this show's episodes. You can hear me, like, slowly get over on Chad Gable. I'm like, alright, I'm starting to like this now. And now I'm over here weekly, daily, saying thank you.
Now he's on NXT.
She...
It's weird. But
Right? When you really mention it.
I think it'll work. I also think that the women got a good spot this week, too. Got a bunch of different women stuff going. I think NXT is just really proving to be one of the better shows, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it always has a good standard to uphold. But it has its... Everybody can agree. It has its dips and declines sometimes. Every shit is. I'm going to call somebody out real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to call out a website, The Sportster, for bullshitting this article about the Elite not being the focal point of all Elite Wrestling. When, like, we all know they, like, make the choice to take a step back and focus on being the VPs of the company. It's like, I don't even actually know the role, but we know the fucking background of all Elite Wrestling. This article was like, AEW is down in the dumps because they refuse to focus on their stars, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. I was like, this is bullshit.
No, that's terrible. It was a terrible article. I don't know who decided.
I feel sad, too.
Yes.
I'm remembering the fact that Adam Cole is going to come back as a heel to turn on MJF.
Is he?
Yeah.
You think he's the devil?
No, I wouldn't even say that. I still am going by my theory, and I think that has nothing to do with the fact that in January of 2024, Adam Cole is beating MJF for the world title.
Okay.
He's returning as a heel. It's just what's happening.
That's fair.
Started Dynamite with a world title match, and low-key, I fucking love when that happens. I love when you start with a world title match. It's just like a gem for a show. Had a good match, of course, because MJF.
Of course.
He wins with a salt to the earth armbar. Sorry, tongue-tied. A submission that I haven't even seen him win with in a minute.
It's been a while, yeah. But it made sense given it was Danny Garcia, you know.
Yeah. He's been putting on so many good matches.
Danny is low-key really, really good. Like, really good. Like, I feel like Daniel Garcia to me is what Axiom / A-Kid could be in WWE. But
Dude, that's the second time now that MJF has defended his title without actually having the title.
That's a little weird.
I hope Jay White heard my promo last week. I really hope Jay White heard my promo.
Someone just play it for him in his locker.
Please. Hey, Jay White, I'm the guy that screamed David Finlay at you, which I didn't realize how many people didn't like David Finlay. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, we can't mention... unless we get some time later, maybe.
Maybe. I don't even think I want to. What I do want to mention, as always, Toni Storm, once again. So entertaining. All fucking capital letters in the notes. So entertaining.
She's
timeless.
Yeah.
Swerve and Penta go off. Love the rivalry heat going on between him and Hangman Adam Page. Man, I cannot stop getting tongue-tied.
Bro, Page. Oh, man,
yeah,
Page.
He was getting a little tongue-tied with that heated promo, which, again, we'll get to some of that later. I love that some of the notes with some of these rivalries are so heated, especially in AEW where they like put all their storylines through all their shows. A lot of these notes have the same people incorporated in them.
Yes. Like
we're building up to something. Like they're building up to something.
Maybe it's the end of the world.
Maybe the worlds will collide.
Oh.
Dude, Tony Khan needs to hire me for plugging all his pay-per-views like that. That was fucking golden. That was a golden plug.
Like Golden Jets?
Nailed that. Bucks versus the Golden Jets, as we're now calling them. I have it as Omega and Jericho at Full Gear.
I did not expect that.
Nobody did. They're kind
of
like,
makes sense given where things are going with the Bucks.
Few years back too, they did the Bucks versus Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
And just Elite have a creative storyline despite that stupid publication.
Yeah, it's almost like
what if that like triggered them, set them off?
You guys gonna do a ramble page on us? Please do a ramble article on us. We'd love it.
I don't get this either. This is the one that's baffling me.
Is
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Samoa Joe drops the ROH TV title after holding it for 570 days.
He had the longest reign of any television champion.
And
yeah,
then drops it only to pursue becoming AEW World Champion. But like, what the fuck moment? You can have both belts.
you can. You could have also put Keith Lee over, but that's another.
You think Keith Lee should have just won it?
I guess it would have been random.
It's not illogical in comparison to just laying the belt out and saying, I don't need to have this belt.
I think it's better than doing that, but at the same time, like, I can see setting it up for someone like... they're going to do an announcement next week or something about it, I think.
I'm hoping that they say they'll crown the new champion at ROH Final Battle.
They should. I mean, I think they will.
That's where I'm going to be then.
They should do like a tournament or something. I love tournaments.
I love that we're on the same page about this, and I love that you want me to see the new ROH TV champion crowned live at ROH Final Battle. I love that you want that for me. Such a good friend.
Says the man who shouted me out 20 million times.
I did. They won't hear that until the next day, but yeah, can't wait for the new series Matchbox, which is only for our paid subscribers. Bonus. You pay $3 a month to our subscription, then you can get some bonus episodes like our new series Matchbox, which again, I keep saying series, but this is more than a series. This is a whole new fucking show where we break down matches. I break down Daniel Bryan. Wow.
You almost did it.
It's funny. I gotta use WWE terms. I break down Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series, and then we're planning on doing the Chicago street fight between Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
I just want you guys to know I have so many ideas of matches I want to go over, but we'll see if we get to any of them.
They all involve one guy.
No, they can also involve Mako Satomura as well.
It's hilarious.
It's literally one guy and one woman.
The Like a Dragon street fight shaping up to be like a legit video game match with all the random ass people they've thrown in it. It looks like people. Funny. It looks like a random 2K match. The way they're just like throwing wrestlers in there. Like, here's the Big Show. Oh, here's Hobbs. Oh wait, here's Brian Cage.
I get that they have to, but I don't like that they keep having to specifically call it the Like a Dragon street fight.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds stupid. And that's not a knock on anyone who likes Like a Dragon, the series. It's a Yakuza game, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and Kenny Omega's definitely done stuff with them before, but I'm guessing this is like, from what I understand, it's a paid sponsorship.
It's a paid sponsorship, that's why I said they have to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, oh, it doesn't make any sense.
But do you have to? It was funny, and this is going to be a fun one. This is funny with Ruby Soho getting flowers mid-match, but I feel like there were a lot of fuck-ups on how the match ended, and the flowers being the distraction, quote-unquote.
Yeah, like, it didn't make a lot of sense, even given context.
Not even botched, just minute fuck-ups, like the ref couldn't ditch them fast enough, or Velvet rolled up the pin too early, etc. It was like... And then for the commentators to go in like, oh my gosh, those flowers were a distraction... I feel like the flowers were out of the picture before we got to the decision, though.
They were. It doesn't... Again, it's very weird.
I don't think it was supposed to play out like that, so it made it funny.
Red Velvet put on 2 great matches this week, especially for someone who came back. Like,
I'm glad you pointed it out, because I wondered if I should point it out or not, and I like that they're giving her more TV time. I just want to know, like, is this all she's here for, or is there something that she's building towards? Or is she about to be in a main picture? Because I've never really seen her in that.
She's going against Sky Blue, right?
Yeah.
We all know how that's gonna. Also, I like how they did Sky Blue versus Red Velvet.
Yeah, that's why I was chuckling. I was like, oh. That's
but we all know how that match is gonna end, because that decides who's gonna be in the triple threat for the TBS title, and I hate to say it, Red's not a part of that story, so.
ROH legend Roderick Strong,
Adam,
getting all the creative attention and TV time he deserves.
He is, and I love how over he has Adam. Just screaming Adam is over.
I remember at that Colorado show, that Broomfield show I was at, it was already like catching like wildfire then. Before they even started doing anything with it creatively on TV, that shit was spreading like wildfire. I mean, you saw the guy in the BTE that I was on, that guy that looked like Roderick Strong, legit.
I love how they've just like how with Daniel Garcia, they've mixed his dancing thing with keeping him a good wrestler. Like, that's made some synergy.
An amazing wrestler.
Strong's character and still being able to put on a badass match. Strong synergy as well.
Because he's a Ring of Honor legend. And the fact that he's doing it with other people now, yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Cut the music. Shut up.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Ladies and gentlemen, No Neck November is in full effect.
No Neck November, let's go.
Let's go.
I'm
Push
weak.
me down.
Push me
And
down.
looking around. Slow down, fellas. Slow down. I get scared. And looking around, it makes sense why the Raiders left.
This had me rolling, dude. This had me fucking rolling.
Hey,
It did.
fellas, you want to know why? It's because Oakland.
Oakland!
You suck.
Hey.
That shit had me rolling. And not like his wheelchair was rolling. Rolling on the floor, laughing.
Strong is the best I think I've ever seen him.
And that's why I said I'm glad he's getting all the creative attention and TV time that he deserves, because he really is a legend in wrestling, and I'm never shy to tell him that. And I'm really honored that I got to not only see him beat Chris Jericho in that Falls Count Anywhere match, but touch the sacred ground that he pinned Chris Jericho on.
You did.
I touched that dirt. I ate that
touched
dirt.
it?
I
Did
literally
you-
picked it up and I did not eat it. I did
I was
not eat
about
dirt.
to say, hold on.
But I did take pictures.
You should have kept a clump of it.
It's like I did not eat it, but I did take pictures with it. That was a fucking fun time. Apparently what was a fun time, I was not having a fun time at this time, but I don't even want to talk about it. You were telling me that SmackDown was going off, and I watched it
One
back.
of the reasons is on the screen right now.
It's not Cedric Alexander. It's not Cedric Alexander.
How? Oh, you're right. It's not.
That's Cedric Alexander on the Ring of Honor
Cedric
DVD
Alexander.
we're watching. Who did you think it was?
No, I was just kidding. Yeah, Cedric Alexander versus Dragon Lee 2.
Oh, you were talking about Cedric.
It was. I was.
I forgot they did.
You forgot. It was an amazing. Yeah, it was an amazing match.
To be fair, I got to see a really amazing wrestling match too. My mind was on one amazing wrestling match that did not happen within the terms of this show.
That's fair.
It didn't even happen. It never happened. I watched it in secret.
But, like, I remember someone saying they need to do a best of 7. I honestly think Dragon Lee and Cedric Alexander could put on 7 amazing matches. And I do like that they're giving Cedric all this time. It's to put Dragon Lee over, but still.
It's not working, but if you pitched to me the idea of a best of 7 series, knowing how good the quality of the match is, I would be more interested, because I could watch a good match 100 times, but why am I watching a good match? And I guess that's why I forget about it so easily, because
There were no stakes to it.
exactly. But you make a best of 7 series, now me as a fan, I'm like, okay, I want to know. Like Cesaro and Sheamus, perfect example. Nobody was
Yes.
interested in that until they did a best of 7, and they're like, okay, but really, who is the best? And it ended up putting on some badass matches during that best of 7 series.
Now, of course, they can't because Dragon Lee won. I think they should have, at the least, they should have done a best of 3. Have Cedric win the second one, then
You know what they should bring back?
what?
The 3 stages of hell.
You know they should bring back
What?
gauntlet matches. Have you noticed that? I've
Never noticed that the Gauntlet match was dead, and I wonder why.
like, it's not like the best thing in the world, obviously, but I was thinking about this the other day. Like, gauntlet matches have just been gone for like a year or two.
I can't remember the last time I saw a Gauntlet match.
See, like,
I wonder if anyone else is talking about this.
I feel like no one else is talking about it. but it's been going in my mind for the past like week and a half. Like, what happened to the gauntlet match?
I was hoping somebody
No,
would mention it.
none. That's why I'm like. That's why I haven't mentioned it yet. But I'm just, for some reason, when you said that, I was like, gauntlet matches.
From a TV perspective, I would like to think that you just kill it because it's taking up too much TV time. At the same time, like, I can remember some really fun gauntlet matches. Like, damn, I gotta see Shawn Michaels beat 3 people to face Randy Orton. Like, I mean,
that's a good way you can get a good amount of people on TV.
I just want the 3 stages of hell back. I was like,
That's
how did we get here? Oh, yeah.
3 stages of hell.
I want to see somebody fight in a street fight, and then a steel cage, and then a ladder match. Or Hell in a Cell, and then a last man standing, and then a ladder match. Or a ladder match, a tables, ladders, and chairs match, and a ladder match.
I was going to say a tables, ladders, and scares match.
No, I just want ladders. Carlito and Lashley opens the show. Open SmackDown. I enjoyed the shit out of that. I didn't enjoy what ensued afterwards, but before and after.
See, I was getting a little thrown off when Carlito came out and he was like,
You know whose fault it is?
yeah.
Your fault.
But then it also makes sense. Like, he did straight up just leave those knuckles.
It was his
there.
fault. Yeah, I agree with Carlito. I agree with Carlito every day.
That's fair.
It's cool.
Yeah. But then the whole thing leads to Santos turning on, and I feel like this was coming. This was coming eventually, right? But it's just like poor Ray. Everyone he loves turns on him.
I've seen a meme going around similar to that too. I like it. I mean, Santos turns on his hero because he doesn't love him more than Carlito. But come on, man, that's not cool. It's fucking Carlito. And the LWO is supposed to be for life. Real note,
yeah. Now I saw a lot of people saying, so why didn't Legato go with Santos?
Real note, though, Santos, I hope, soars and becomes a star out of this. Like, it's going to be entangled with the LWO storyline still, but thinking so much further ahead, I'm hoping that this is exactly the elevated push he needs. I think he needs.
Do you think Joaquin and Cruz are going to go with him, or are they going to stay with...
They're going to stay with Rey Mysterio.
You think so?
I think Santos is bound for a solo career.
Because he's the one that brought them in. Wouldn't it make sense for them to go with him? At the same time...
Everybody's turned on him.
I do see that Zelina stays with Rey because she was kind of like the third wheel to begin with.
Everybody is going to turn their back on Santos. That's why he's such a heel, and that's why he's going to be the U.S. champion. He should have been the U.S. champion months ago.
He should have been a long time ago, yeah.
We called that a long time ago. I hated LA Knight saying X so many times.
Did he only say X like twice, though?
Okay, maybe it was 2-3 times. That's so many times more than you need to because it's Twitter.
That's fair, but come on, the way he ran down Grayson, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. No, not taking anything away from how funny it was, just hated hearing him say X. Same time, like, I think they might get sued if they say Twitter. If they don't say X,
possibly,
they might get sued.
Yeah, or at least, like, ads drop, because you know how they have, like, the emotes every time they have a pay-per-view?
Heard you running your mouth on X, and you were Xing at my Y.
Oh my god.
Why did you go on X?
You know who else was entertaining on SmackDown?
Who?
Kevin Owens.
Yes, I'm glad. That's where my next note was going to nobody's surprise. Kevin Owens on commentary was hilarious.
Look, I love to see Kevin wrestle, and I don't want to take that away from him.
Especially his telestrator.
Honestly, can we have like a Kevin Owens commentary run for a little bit?
I'm not against it. Okay, now here's... Real fans would agree with me on this. This is a fucking fantasy then. Because you know who else does a great job in commentary and who is going to excel in commentary after they're wrestling or when they're not wrestling? Chris Jericho. And the best and most entertaining tag team of the modern era, in my opinion, is Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens.
I see where you're going.
You get them on a commentary team?
Wow.
I just thought of that. I just thought of it, but I'm sure everybody can agree with this. And I'm sure if I made this week's poll, do people agree? 100% yes. oh, they better turn their car alarm off. I will go down there and Suplex City will ensue. I'm turning this bitch into Suplex City. Dude, women's division. It was like, what in the hell was going on? We see where it's going a little bit now. But
yeah, there's some direction. And
what in the hell?
The only thing, I think, it was reported that Becky will be the 4th member. And I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I heard this
but,
as well. And then,
you know who else makes sense? This is my one time where I get to be like, Mako Satomura.
It's like, pitch your pitch. I'm pulling
She
up the
faced
clip.
both Asuka and Io before. Probably Kairi too, honestly. I don't know that much, but I know that she's faced both of them on her own.
At least you admit you don't know.
But put her on that other team and you have some badass women.
I'm sure she appreciates all the love. Because, like, nobody else is giving her this push but you, and I appreciate that.
I don't understand how. You have her on the roster. From what I saw, though, she's in England right now. So maybe she's at home in England. She resides in England now. So maybe she's taking a break. Maybe, they just don't have anything for her. But get something for her. If it's not of her own volition, get something for her. That's all I gotta say.
She can join Damage Control.
She could.
We're just gonna make it a fucking mega faction.
I respect you as a leader of Damage Control. And I forgive you.
I was like, what? That guy did what?
I don't hug anymore.
That had me laughing my ass off. That's not my thing. I don't hug anymore. I don't do that.
And then, like, her slow, like, going into it, like, babyface shades, right?
Right.
Like, her slow acceptance of it being like, maybe I can hug.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if anyone picked that up.
Bayley will be edged out of Damage Control.
Oh, she's getting kicked out.
A lot of people see her as the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble winner, and I can't call that this far back. I only know LA Knight winning the Men's Rumble, but I'm not against Bayley having another run. I miss Bayley, man. I miss all forms of Bayley, heel or face.
I think, depending how this story goes, it could definitely work.
I'm going to fucking War Games is where we're going.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I can't wait for Survivor Series. I know it's going to be fun, but I got to get to Full Gear first. And a lot of this week's Collision is just foreshadowing and building up to Full Gear because it's literally next weekend. It's literally next Saturday.
It is. It's creeping up on us.
It's creeping up like Roderick Strong, ROH legend.
ROH legend, let's go.
Dude, another clip. Hold on, let me get another clip. The fucking opening intros of this Collision had me dying as well.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm definitely adding the video if I can because this was cheesy as hell. It might get cut out of the YouTube version. That's just how this shit works. Play the clip.
Last week, Lance, you tried to dislocate my shoulder again. Tonight you say you're gonna finish things, huh? Well, you ain't gonna finish anything.
What happens when an icon, an iconoclast and a freak walk into a wrestling ring?
He came in
beat
hot.
the crap out of you. I call that
Don't do it.
showtime, folks!
Oh, I cringe every time he does that.
For the righteous!
This one was the worst.
The door to our rebirth.
And for the righteous, nobody can hurt us any more than we can hurt ourselves.
Don't do it.
What power do you really have over us? Dig what I'm saying?
Dig what I'm saying, man?
That sounded so like emo teenager.
It did.
Dig what I'm saying, man.
Oh, I dig that, brother.
I smoke cigarettes, brother.
You're done tonight. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. Ricky Stars.
Everybody dies. Everybody dies.
Like I said earlier, Jake the Snake Roberts was like, I smoke too much. I can't breathe. Everybody dies. Everybody dies.
I won't forget what you did, my brother Presto. On Rampage. Quería la atención de todo. You got it. We're coming for the World Tag Titles. Tonight, ustedes no se la van a acabar. Just remember, if you mess with the bull, you got the horns.
I love the way he says horn.
Tonight on Collision, we're gonna watch.
When did Collision turn into fucking 80s Mid-South wrestling?
Anybody can get it.
Anybody?
I lost the biggest match of my life this past Wednesday, but I'm not gonna sit around and mope and complain like everybody else
I'm
does
gonna
when something doesn't go their way. I'm gonna do what I do best.
Dance.
I'm gonna take a negative situation and turn
dance it into a positive.
outcome. When I make Andrade tap out in the middle of the ring,
He
and
did not.
I'm gonna
He did
dance over his broken and
Great match. He did not.
That's true.
Everybody wanna hear my answer for CJ. Oh, tranquilos.
Oh.
You see my answer right now.
Zelina Vega Part 2.
Basically, yes.
It's literally Zelina Vega Part 2. I'm not blaming him. You definitely, like, I mean, can you see it turning into a storyline with him against Miro and him and Miro actually having good matches rather than Miro just having meat hall matches?
So,
He said, give me a second.
later on in the show, we get announced the tournament. Let's go.
He's like, I don't even know. I don't know if any of that's a thing. Dude, it was a great opener at the very least with him and Garcia. From a wrestling purist standpoint, it was a good match.
It was I really enjoyed. Again, Daniel Garcia is one of those people I've really gravitated to in the ring, and somehow he won me over with the dance.
I'm dancing.
When he first did the dance, I was disgusted.
Look at me, Dad, I'm dancing.
And now here we are, and I pop just like the crowd does every time he dances.
Dude,
I don't know.
Nick Wayne gets a huge win over Dalton Castle. Was not expecting that.
He did not deserve that. Dalton Castle is a national treasure, and he should be world champion.
I agree that he is a national treasure, and I didn't know anyone else felt this way. I gotta go to Twitter to get this clip. He was fucking pissed off, and I'm glad he said something about it, because you know what? Dalton Castle should be the next Ring of Honor world champion.
He's already a former Ring of Honor world champion.
But he should be the next Ring of Honor world champion.
I feel like...
We're gonna go to
Am I going to sound stupid if I say who's the current...
You
It's
don't,
like, I can't remember who the current world champion is.
That's disrespectful. You might get him confused because he's also the New Japan strong openweight champion.
Kingston, that's
Yeah.
right.
Get your shrimp together.
I'm sorry, Kingston.
We just witnessed a very unfortunate loss.
Ridiculous loss. A ridiculous loss.
Right, ridiculous loss against Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne. I lost to Nick Wayne. Ridiculous. That's
Ridiculous.
What that is. I'm not yelling at you.
Okay.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm not
This is
mad
the
at
whole
you.
situation.
Yes, we
whole
did see Luchasaurus
situation.
and Christian Cage.
Does anybody follow the rules anymore? I mean, rules are rules, Lexi. It just makes me so furious. I'm just so mad. I want to go out and punch a stranger in the face.
Me too,
Don't punch
Dolphin.
me, but,
Me too.
Christian
I guess
Cage.
it's-
Christian Cage came out there, right? Who was the TNT champion? Bull crap. That guy doesn't know drama. You want to see drama? You come to this peacock. I'm the one people crave. The viewers want to see Dalton Drama
Yes.
Castle.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
It will be when I rip through this group of idiots. Christian Cage is dull, he's dense, he's dumb. Luchasaurus is an underdeveloped pollywog who's sticking his nose in
A
other
pollywog.
people's business.
Oh my god.
Luchasaurus, put the mic in my mouth. You put your hands on my boys again, and I'm gonna break your knees. You hear me? I am finished!
Yes.
And again, Lexi, I mean this. I'm not
So
mad at
sorry,
you.
Lexi.
I'm not mad at you. Okay. But I am living. I'm living.
I love him so much. And a lot of people are really happy that he's getting so much
Yes.
AEW TV time. Like, we know he's gotten a lot of Ring of Honor time, but seeing him on AEW on...
Alright,
Oh, go off.
I'm going to pitch it now.
Pitch it.
Dalton Castle,
Throw it in the air.
TNT champion.
I'm for it. I'm kind of, like, thirsty over this idea that Edge could be the one to...
Dethrone him?
Yeah,
But if it's not Edge, Dalton Castle.
I mean, I could support that.
And that is for all you silly gooses out there.
Which, maybe after Full Gear. Maybe not. I don't know, because, you know, all of your ideas get shut down. Even the ones that work, with the Julia Hart Sky Blue thing just turning around once you were right.
I
That's one of the Full Gear matches
Here's
announced.
the thing. I think it's gonna come full circle again. Anyways, I think
Yeah.
they're gonna get changed. She's gonna miss them, and they're gonna get changed again. Like, what was the whole point?
That's what I feel about Julia Hart not winning that TBS title the first time around. If she's gonna win it this time, like, it would be kind of dumb then.
I
because
feel like
what was the purpose?
they knew she was gonna take time off because it was for her honeymoon, right, or something like that. It was some sort of like personal time off, not actual injury time.
See, I don't know that. I just
So she
looked
took
at it
time
from
off because
creative storyline.
she took time off for like a week or two, and maybe they just didn't want to put the title on her and then not do anything with her for 2 weeks. But I mean, that's not.
And from a personal standpoint, that makes sense. From a creative standpoint, that makes it makes it so dumb. At that point, you got to give her more time to win a title then, because for her to not win it that first time around, have very little integration into it until pay-per-view time, and her just win the belt. It's a little weird. I'm not against it. I want her to win it. It's a little weird at that point.
We'll see what happens.
ROH legend Roderick Strong wrestles on Collision, and
again, like I said,
that in itself is noteworthy.
Incorporating his character while still wrestling like a badass, I'm all for it. I love the fact that he got back into the wheelchair after his match.
People were saying it's a miracle.
It is. It's a miracle.
It's a fucking miracle. ROH legend Roderick Strong. Make sure you say it correctly.
ROH legend Roderick Strong.
So last night I had to watch it back this morning because I actually fell asleep through the main event. That's how much of an old man I am. Watching the Sting and Edge tag match, I fell asleep in my rocker. No.
I'm going to be perfectly honest here, guys. I love Sting, I love Edge, I love Darby, I love everyone involved.
You just love everybody.
I didn't watch it.
Wowzers.
I was brushing my teeth and getting ready to go to sleep.
Now, who's the old man now? Okay. I thought I was the old man just crashing out because I literally swam in a bath of Chipotle sauce last night. I ate too much. And that is not a sponsorship. I might even have to edit that out.
You should. I can't. I'm so disappointed in you.
I bathed in a tub of Chipotle sauce last night.
I wish you wouldn't have said the last part so we could have just...
It was a fairly good
context.
It was a fairly good match, though. It was nice to see Edge and Sting work
what
together.
I did see of it, it was
not correcting saying Edge either, because I want to say Edge and no one's gonna stop me. Like I said too, I'm thirsty at this idea that he could be the next TBS champion. Like,
yes,
why not? Why not put him on Edge? So in this case, you didn't hear Nigel's "It's Christian" call.
I did hear that.
Okay, thank God. That was fucking hilarious.
That was hilarious. I love how people get onto him for saying it like he does. It's Christian.
It was fucking
instead of like just Christian. It's Christian. Like, that's the thing. That's Nigel. I'm not gonna hate on Nigel for doing that.
Give me 1 second as I pull up the preview for next week, because we're looking at Full Gear and I want to look at some of these matches beforehand, or else I'm going to be in trouble. Full Gear match card. Now let's just look at the card. We already know who's going to win the AEW Women's Championship.
Huh?
You don't know who's going to win the AEW Women's Championship?
Tony Storm, right?
Thank you. Matches. Let's fucking go. MJF and TBA. Who's TBA? That guy sounds legit. We all think it's Samoa Joe. Versus the Guns for the ROH tag titles.
What if it's Caster, though? Oh, no, they got destroyed. Never mind, they're done.
Hey, don't rule it out.
Bowens was the one that got put through the...
Yeah, don't rule it out. I'm just saying, you're not totally off, and you're not timeless like Tony Storm. I was trying to get all those T words off. She's gonna beat Sheeta, who, again, transitional champion, but the most winningest AEW Women's Champion.
That's fair.
Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland.
No idea who that is.
It's Edge. With Ric Flair
versus
Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne.
With special guest You ready for this?
Yes.
Andrade. Boom. Plot twist.
With CJ Perry. With Miro. With Trouble. With Tony Khan. Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley. Expect a fucking brawl on this one.
Moxley's gonna win, isn't he?
I hope so.
Yeah.
And then just announced off of Collision, Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland is a Texas death match.
Let's go.
Which Hangman Adam Page is just in all the Texas death matches now, or what's that about? Why does he get the Texas?
Because he's a cowboy, even though he's not a cowboy from Texas.
Remember the milk toast reference? I remember the video version. I literally pulled a video of milk toast being made.
Look, he proved me wrong this week. Okay.
I agree that he's not milk toast, and maybe that was a bit of a wrong presumption, but at the same time, it was fucking hilarious. They actually have it written down as the Golden Jets.
Yeah, it is the Golden Jets.
This is fucking terrible. The Golden Mets and Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. I didn't know those were the Young Bucks. I had no idea.
Who would have known?
I was making sure that this was like the stipulation. Whoever wins gets a shot at the tag titles.
Yeah, because remember the Young Bucks have that shot that they were sitting on?
Yeah.
And now if they lose it to Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega.
Which could be a thing, which again, I just feel like they're replaying the Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega storyline.
They are.
That's a whole other thing. Which, who will even be the tag champs then? Because we got
a
whole four-way. Who do I predict to win?
I have no clue.
I think FTR will just win it back. Although
I was thinking that
the House of Black isn't out of the question.
That's my hope. I honestly hope that the Kings of the Black Throne take it.
I just see LFI as the least likely to win.
Least likely, but I wouldn't be.
That would be a bold move.
Roosh is amazing, guys.
Agreed.
Like, I liked Roosh a lot, but I think this week was the week where I was like, Roosh is amazing.
You know what week I said Roosh was amazing? Was when he had that match with Bryan Danielson.
That's fair.
That was a banger. Will this be a banger? Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Red Velvet or Sky Blue?
Sky Blue. It's going to be Sky Blue. It's going to be Sky Blue. And that's going to be more story than it will match, I believe. Ooh. There's going to be something between Julia and Sky.
Bombshell. They just put Red Velvet in the match instead. What if?
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
That's crazy. I love it. I want some chaos. And no more chaos than the main event, MJF and Jay White. Yes. We're getting the devil revealed in, right? For sure. I don't know that I think that's still long term, but I don't know. It's so hard.
If there's the longest I can see them putting it off to is World's End, and this is what I'm going to end on. Because World's End is World's End, the way it's kind of themed. It would make sense to end this whole devil thing there.
I agree. I think it could be played out longer to there. I don't see it coming to fruition at Full Gear, but I do see MJF finally getting his fucking belt back.
Hopefully.
Fuck Jay White for stealing that belt. And
there's a few notes I had outside of here that I wanted to kind of touch on.
Interesting.
WWE has interest in, I don't know how to say her name, but it's Julia?
Yeah. Yeah. I love her.
It was said they also had interest in Saray, but then she got signed by Sukebon.
Mm-hmm.
So now, but
Julia is the top prospect right now, yeah. Seeking out Will
Ospreay. There were rumors that she was going to be headed to the Performance Center, but Bushiroad won't allow that. So some of these rumors are getting a little, desperate. And I don't want to have to bring this up, but Vince sold a lot of its stocks.
Yeah.
At 1/3 of his stocks. Are we foreseeing Vince being kicked out completely in a couple of years?
Well, yeah, we had already heard that he was being edged out by TKO.
Right, but we're just kind of in the process now.
Also, when you got that much legal trouble, you kind of need some legal money.
That makes sense. And that's all I have for this week. Any other thoughts you got?
No, I'm just excited to finish through the table. I'm excited to air
Beyond the mat.
Matchbox this week.
Matchbox 20.
Matchbox 420, because it's just me watching Bryan Danielson matches and smoking in my room. What a podcast that is.
Let's go.